Hi, my name is Isadora Pennington. I am Senior Editor of Art and Design and Dance for Arts ATL, and I am the President of the Avondale Arts Alliance and Director of the Avondale Arts Center. The place that we're in right now, the Avondale Arts Center, is a community exhibition space predominantly. We opened in February of 2024, so we're coming up on 2 years. We do large-scale group exhibitions here in the main gallery. We feature hundreds of local artists who sell their works with us every year. We also do community events. For example, we have a current food and supply drive for a local ministry. We have clothing swaps, we do workshops, and all kinds of art and cultural programming. As an Arts Alliance, we work as a liaison between the government, the neighbors, the businesses, and the artists. And in order to bring everyone together, we provide experiences that make accessible art opportunities for all. So kids, adults, professional artists, and emerging artists as well. We are a registered nonprofit. The Avondale Arts Alliance is an all-volunteer board-run organization. And we love to provide different opportunities, and the space really makes that so much easier. We can be very expansive in our ideas of what we want to do with our time and how we can support artists, because really at the heart of what we do with the Avondale Arts Alliance, we want to support local artists who are working and living in our neighborhoods today. So Arts ATL was founded in 2009. It was founded by journalists who were leaving the AJC. It was during a time when arts journalism was taking a bit of a hit. And so those initial founders wanted to make a place where it could be focused solely on the arts here in Atlanta. And broadly, it covers music, dance, film and TV, theater, books, and art and design. And so throughout all of these years, it is also a nonprofit. Arts ATL has been committed to providing coverage through reviews, previews, a calendar, and feature stories about the creatives who make Atlanta such a wonderful place to live. As most are aware, Atlanta is the birthplace of the civil rights movement, and it has been long a very big center of industry and culture for the entire Southeast as well as the country. And through all of the years that I've been here, it was really the art scene that made me fall in love with Atlanta to begin with. And the fact that it's diverse is one of its best qualities. There are so many artists that I've come to know here who are not from the Southeast. They might not even be from this country. They bring their own unique perspectives to the art that they create, and when they do that in the city, it enriches the experience for everyone, from journalists to people who walked past these murals on the street, to people who go to museums, and to the artists themselves. It creates a very diverse, rich, culturally rich scene for anyone who appreciates art in any way that they do. And art is really one of the first languages. It is a way that people can communicate that transcends spoken word, written language. You don't have to be able to read the same words or even understand each other when you're speaking in order to understand what someone is trying to convey with art. And I think it's really important to remember and to use that as a way of connecting people who might be from disparate places or have disparate experiences. So in short, I think the diversity of the Atlanta art scene is one of the reasons why we are like the mecca of art and culture in the Southeast, in my opinion. I think I've always been a photographer, but photography is one of those art forms where you have to have the materials, you have to have the equipment in order to do it. So growing up, I didn't have a digital camera until I got to college, which just meant I spent a lot of money on disposable cameras back then. Shows my age a little bit, but over time, I've always loved capturing my experiences and trying to show people what I see, to show people through my eyes, document history and important figures. I got my start in photography doing family portraits, and that's something I still do to this day. I have a big season for it. It's the fall. I do fall family pictures every year. One of my favorite things about that is to get really friendly with children. I think children can be difficult to photograph. They really can pick up on your energy. So if you bring tension and stress, that will be reflected in the kids' eyes. So I love letting kids play and be themselves. And I get down on their level and I take the pressure way off and I allow them to just kind of be themselves and hopefully capture what they're really all about. Outside of that, I have worked as marketing director. I've worked in newspapers, so I've done a decent amount of photojournalism and marketing photography, including branding and corporate type of photography as well. Those all have different needs, but there's one common theme, which is that I'm showing you what I see through my eyes, and I think that's really the magic of why I care about photography. And I think it's these days I really am focused on artists. That has been the big focus of the last few years of my life. I started doing artist portrait series with Rough Draft before I came to Arts ATL. I founded Sketchbook, which was it's a weekly arts newsletter. And through that, I had the opportunity to get into the studios of a lot of artists. And I really love that. I found that people enjoy seeing behind the scenes of how the art is made. And I enjoy especially telling and showing about the artists and their process and their space. There's something so magical about stepping into an artist's space, seeing what they're all about, and then sharing that with the world. In 2024, I was looking around the community here in Avondale Estates and just noticing how, because we are our own city, we kind of fall just outside of the boundaries of the Atlanta-specific or Decatur-specific publications. And while we get some play from them, I felt like there's so much happening here, and I wanted there to be a publication dedicated to it. I have always been a fan of print publications, and I mean, that started when I graduated from college at Georgia State, and I immediately started working at a newspaper. So my background was graphic design, working for newspapers before I ended up in the editor's seat. And I think there's something really magical about the accessibility of free print specifically, and having that as a resource for people where you don't have to know where to go to find art. You can pick up a free publication and it has the information in it. So in Avondale Estates, there was a lack of that. There was a gap there. So in December of last year, I launched the first. I am the editor of that publication, and I also do the layout design for it, and we work with the AEBA, the Avondale Estates Business Association, and the DDA, the Downtown Development Authority here in Avondale Estates, to help produce it. But we feature local businesses and local artists. That's really kind of that middle ground where we want to talk about the best patios and also the weird artist who works with found objects. And I want to put all that together in a place where there's also a map and a calendar of events and some fun things, which as a person who loves print, it's always going to have like a crossword, and I even put a scavenger hunt in them. So we have our next one coming out in just a couple of weeks. It is a free quarterly, although it has been a little bit less than quarterly publication that we produce, and we do short runs of it just here in Avondale Estates. But it's just a passion project of mine to have free print that reflects your community, and especially that highlights artists. I think that's really important to do. I am that generation that grew up with social media. I had my first MySpace when I was 10 years old, and I taught myself how to code so that I could put glittery GIFs on my MySpace page. So I've really grown up with it as like a part of my daily life, and I was an early adopter of Facebook back in the days when you had to have a college email address to sign up for Facebook. So it has been a normal everyday part of my life for all of those years, and I've found great value in it. As someone who has moved quite a bit, it allowed me to keep in touch with family members and friends who didn't live geographically close to me. And I really enjoyed it as a way to share the updates of what's going on in my life and to keep in touch with people. At times, it has become a bit toxic. It can be an obsession, and no matter how good my self-control is, sometimes I'm doom scrolling, just like the rest of us. I will say that when I had my daughter in 2020, it was the height of the pandemic, and that changed the access that my friends and family had to my infant daughter. I wanted to share her. I was so proud and I was so excited that I wanted everyone to see how cute she was. And I posted quite a bit of her in that first year. And then something just was really not sitting right to me about having her out there in this way that you can't take back. Because that is one thing about the internet, right? Whatever you put out there, it's forever. I will say that sometimes when it gets overwhelming, I give myself the freedom to delete those apps off of my phone for part of a day, all of a day, a few days, a week, as much as I need to. And I try to be really flexible with my own limitations around it. Sometimes I use my Instagram very religiously to post about things that are happening. If you check my stories on my Portraits by Isadora, it'll be all the stuff that's happening. Anything cool that I see, I'm sharing, I'm sharing, I'm sharing. And I use that also to inform my stories, the content that I assign, and to the calendars and things like that. But at other times, life happens, and I give myself complete freedom to take breaks as often as I need to. But having it's, I don't think I can do either extreme. I can't be 100% on all the time. I don't want that to be my daily life. It's not a part of my like job requirement, but I also don't want to be completely off of it. So I just try to allow myself the fluidity to step in and out of that world as I see fit.